mint chocolate chip. In my opinion, the best ice cream out there. Best flavour of ice cream, I should say. Welcome everyone to another episode of Brightside. Today we are here in Boscastle. Now Boscastle is a village that I've never really been to. I've never visited Boscastle. So we are going to have a little look around. Point the camera in a few places. There's a lovely little river that runs past. We're kind of in the middle of a valley. As you can kind of see behind me if I pan the camera around. It's very picturesque. We've had a little look around to kind of get our bearings as such. So yeah, the beautiful harbour down there, we're going to show you that. Liking it so far, so let's go check it out. We've parked in the long stay car park here, and the name Cobweb, that has to be my all-time favourite name for a car park. Cobweb. Just a little overview of Boscastle. So we are parked here in the Cobweb car park, and we are going to stroll this way toward the harbour. And our eventual plan is to actually go up onto the coastal path because there is a waterfall that we want to see. Nice. We're actually just heading back to the car because we forgot the kids' sun hats, and we got here fairly early, and I'm glad we did because actually it is full. So a little hint there, try and get to Boscastle early. Right, the Cobweb Inn. Now actually it's getting close to lunchtime, so we're getting a little bit hungry. We might try our luck in the Cobweb Inn because it's got such a cool name and it actually looks awesome. So we are going to try and eat in there. Also, there's a little convenience store here too. Right, we've booked our table for 12:30. It is now 11:45, so we've got about 45 minutes to wait. So what we're going to do, we're going to amble down the street and see what we can see. And we'll come back to that pub, because I must say it looks really nice inside, so I can't wait to show you guys. Very, very picturesque. There's lots of places here, like little restaurants and like cafes and the like, which all look really nice. In fact, that was where we bought the ice cream from, which is good. And here is Sharon's place, like place, play on words there, for some fish and chips. We're not having fish and chips today though, because we're having that delicious carvery. But that does look very nice actually, I must say. Always helped by a blue sky. Right here by the Bridge House tea room, bed and breakfast. Look at this little quaint street. That is very nice, cobbled ground here, cobbled floor. Look, I've never ever been to Boscastle, and I don't know why. I suppose this sort of end of North Cornwall, because it's so far away from where I live in Penzance. It's not always easy to come up here. Look at that, that's really nice. Right, I don't know where the kids are, and Mama Bear, let's go and find them. I'm lost in Boscastle. It's not very big, so I think I'll be okay. There's the river. I need to find out the name of that river actually. I'm not sure what that's called. I'll find that out. But that's a very nice little house there. Very cool. And there's a store there, the Cornish Rambler. Regatta, great outdoors. Little man there like clinging on for dear life. The other world. Wow. I think we've spotted... Oh, it's a library. I was going to say, has it got a telephone in it? It is not operational as a phone box. You can put your head in if you want. Look at that for a cool house. I'd love to get up in there. Look at that window, look at that. That's amazing. And right here by the Wellington watermill is this this wheel. Look at that. Hard to see on this like angle. I'm kind of... Look at that in there hiding away. this building material isn't what we would find in like our end.
No.
It's like I don't know. I'm not a geologist. I don't know if it's like slate, but it's like slaty, isn't it? The way it's and Tintagel's the same. So maybe it's the kind of like the norm up here on the north coast. But you wouldn't really get a building like that in Penzance.
It's more granite down our way.
Yeah. A little bit backlit with the sun, but the Wellington Hotel. That looks quite impressive with its like turret up there. Nice. This is very nice, I must say. This is very quaint. Have you ever been to Boscastle?
I don't think I have.
No.
It's really pretty.
It is.
Reminds me of some of the French villages that we've been to. Not on the channel, but...
All right. Another closer view of that magnificent building up there. Look at that, just perched there on the edge of a cliff. Amazing. Boscastle Harbour, the National Trust, so they keep it in good order. I'm loving like the hills of this valley. And down that way, where we're headed, is the harbour. Awesome cottage. Look at that lovely wood lintel there above that window. That's amazing. I think I could live in there. That'll be quite nice. Lovely little view of that river, and again I will find out the name of that river in a sec. Very nice. So there is the National Trust shop and cafe over there. And there's like a second-hand bookshop over there with the National Trust symbol over it, so I assume that's all National Trust as well. I don't know what that building is, that's quite interesting. Very old. Well, it's all very old here. And we're going in the direction of the Witchcraft Museum, the Museum of Witchcraft and Magic, which we have actually just done. And what I'll do, if you want to see that video, I'll leave a link in the description, because it was interesting. Harbour-like clothing, so you can go in there and get some new apparel. Bridge weight limit, 3 tons. Alright, good to know. And there is the Witchcraft and Magic Museum. I keep saying that the wrong way around. I think it's the Museum of Witchcraft and Magic. And like I said, we've just been in there, so like I said, I'll leave a link. Doesn't look like it's an active church anymore, but that must have been a church once, right? Yeah. Former church. I'm going to put my money on that. Kids are just dipping their feet. I think Matilda might have just fallen in though. I think she's now got a wet bum. While the kids are down there having a bit of a splish, I'm going to head over to these old harbour walls and check them out, because that looks impressive. Loving those white cottages up on the cliff up there. Beautiful. Alright. Human-propelled boat making its way out of the harbour. The colour of that water. Beautiful. Got some boats there tied up. The PW 494. Onward. So we've got the Pirate 21 behind it as well. Alright, let's get up onto that pier. Be a bit careful of your footing here, or else you could tumble over and end up in there. Now apparently these harbour walls were built in 1584. That's quite amazing. There is another harbour wall in a minute which we'll find. This is obviously the first one that's looking back at Boscastle. 1584. That's amazing. Look at that. Wow. Not going to go too far because I don't want to get wet. Actually, it's quite deep there. Yeah. Obviously, it's shallow over there. The kids are playing in the water. But actually, just, 100 yards or so. Actually, it's quite deep. Just up on the top of a wall now. Just climbed up those steps there. You can see why this natural inlet up on the North Cornish Coast is so popular with like swimmers and boaters and stuff like that. That's amazing, look at that. What an amazing harbour. People down there having a swim, a dog down there barking. That's looking back on Boscastle. Nice. Although it looks different to the other one, I assume that's the other wall built in 1584. I assume. I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Wow, how about that? For a stunning view. Look at that craggy coastline up there. It's amazing. People down there having a bit of a swim. Wow. And 4 miles in that direction is Pentargon. And then we, after our lunch, we're going to walk on that coastal path heading north, because there's that waterfall up there we want to check out. Getting a bit of speed up there. Right, unfortunately, I'm going to leave this beautiful view behind me because I need to go back to Shellbell and the kids, because we've got our lunch reservation coming up. Got a boat there coming in. That's great. The Pentargon, is that on the side of it? Pentargon? Go with Cragen, maybe. I don't know. Pentargon. A little sort of reverse angle of that pier. 1584. Wow. Well, I can see why people want to come here on holiday. It is beautiful. Right, we've made it back to the Cobweb Inn. It's 12:30, so our table should be ready. So let's go on in for a carvery. Well, I think we're definitely going to go for a carvery. Oh, look at that. I don't know if it's the right sort of weather for a roast dinner because it's very hot outside, but that is looking delicious. Loving that pub decor as well. Look at all those like irons. Those like old Victorian irons just hanging up off of the ceiling. Very cool. So I went with just beef, but actually Shellbell looks like you've gone with all 3 choices.
No, so I went with pork and beef because AJ's got turkey and I figured that he probably won't eat them.
Ah, there's logic there. Matilda, you didn't want gravy, did you? Bizarrely, you didn't want gravy. That's really weird.
Not my try.
I got gravy, I got turkey.
Nice.
It's chewy.
Yeah. Oh, you've got Matilda's hat on, AJ.
Daddy.
Did you enjoy your roast? Was it nice? That was a very nice roast. I forgot to say, we've left the pub and I would eat there again. That was definitely a nice roast dinner, yeah. Cobweb Inn. Cobweb Inn?
It's Cobweb.
Cobweb Inn.
I think it was Cobweb out.
I don't know what the purpose of this was. It's like recess. It's like arched recess in here. I don't know. Like a lintel back there. Look. I wonder what that would have been. Yeah. Wow, I know. If you know, let me know in the comments because I would like to know what this...
Fairies live.
Oh, where the wish fairies live. Ah, gotcha.
I can't see them.
Coast path to Pentargon, 1 mile. And I believe that's where the waterfall is. I think it's the Pentargon Waterfall, actually. I think that's what it's called. So we are going to head up in this direction. And just for a bit of wayfinding, there is the Witchcraft Museum. So we've kind of got back to the harbour area now. So we're going to head up onto the cliffs. Let's go. Wow, I've just noticed this large anchor. Look at that. All rusted out under our old days, or what ship that came off. Impressive. Right, back to the matter at hand. The coastal path. Passing by these cottages. That's obviously a holiday home. That must be a holiday home. Gull Cottage. It's got a website underneath. Nice little chair made out of a boat. What have you done, AJ? Did you just fall over?
He fell down and bumped his knee.
Oh no.
I pushed him by accident.
Beautiful view of the harbour from up here. Wow, look at that. Boscastle Harbour and 61 acres of cliff land donated to the National Trust by Mr. T.P. Fulford of Launceston, 1956. Diving off the harbour. Not my cup of tea. I wouldn't want to particularly dive off of that harbour, or any harbour come to that. Okay, following the yellow arrow up the steps. You have to have your wits about you here. You'd have to be relatively fit to climb up this cliff. It's not the easiest. I'm ready for that reveal. Yeah, look at that beautiful North Cornish coast. Wow. Right, Shelley and the kids are following the path, but this will take me up to what I believe is like a little scenic overlook. So we've got to get that view while we're here, and then I shall sprint and catch up with the family. Although maybe not sprint, because that might be dangerous. Okay, almost at the top. That big white pole there on the tippy top. And what a view we have. Look at that. So Boscastle down there, the harbour. That way 4 miles is Tintagel, and then north we're about, I think, 14 miles from Bude. Look at that. I don't get too close because I don't want to go tumbling down there, but absolutely stunning. Right, let's head back down the path and join Mama Bear and the kids. Watch my foot in here a little bit. This is actually the part of Cornwall that I know the least well. I suppose because it's such a long way from Penzance. Actually coming up here is really once in a blue moon for me. I have been to Tintagel just over that way, but gosh, that was like, I don't know, I want to say 20 plus years ago. Maybe, I'd say 20 years. It's been a long, long time since I've been to Tintagel. And like I said earlier in this video, I've actually never been to Boscastle. And it really is beautiful. I would definitely come back again. But these north cliffs up here are absolutely stunning. And yeah, it's a shame. Like I said, it's a part of Cornwall that I know least well. Where's it to? I'm stuck. I can't see it. There we go. I did it. All right. Mama Bear and the kids are up here somewhere. Loving this wall. It's just like all slotted in together. That's some. That is some pretty good building. Also a little seat has been made. Oop. The kids are struggling with the heat a little bit. I'd say it was probably about, I don't know, it must be in the mid-70s. Again, it's not that hot, but it's warm when you're walking here. But it's a nice little cool breeze, so it's not too bad. Look at that cliff formation down there. Beautiful. How about that for a view? Looking down onto that sort of rocky, beachy cove. Wow. Hopefully the waterfall isn't too far ahead of us, because the kids are struggling a little bit with the rugged path and obviously the sun, the heat, so hopefully it'll be just around the corner. Hello cows! Don't get too hot. Do you have any shelter anywhere? No? You're just kind of relaxing and not moving and doing too much exercise to get too hot, right? Okay, well you stay safe. Right, cheers now. Right, getting very close to that cliff now. There's a warning sign just back there saying like caution. So keeping an extra eye on the kids because, you know. Look at the colour of that sea. So clear, you can just see those rocks submerged. Looking inland. Now we do hear the trickle of a little river and we see like a bridge, so we think that that river goes that way and then obviously leading to the waterfall. Now I don't know if we'll get an angle on the waterfall because we potentially might have to be further down, and that's actually not going to happen today because I think the kids are getting super tired, but I think we're almost at the waterfall.
I'm a bit slow today.
You're a bit slower, that's alright. I think Mama and AJ have got a point.
AJ's being in charge.
Yeah. We got to walk back up there in a minute. Where we've just come, I assume, is called Hillsborough. Right, we've made it to this stream. Right, little hydration stop for the kids. Hey. Ah. Right, so we've just adjusted our little course. We just had a little drink there and we followed this path. That's the direction that we came in originally, and I believe that we have found the waterfall. I'm not going to get too close though, because actually, yeah, that's a little bit too close for my liking, but I believe we found it. Not exactly the Niagara, but there it is. Little bit too close to the cliff edge for my liking, but it was beautiful. I would imagine that if it had been more rainy in recent sort of weeks and whatnot, the waterfall would be more intense, more fierce maybe. But even so, even with the sort of hardly any rain we've had, it was still very beautiful. So nice. Up we go. Now what we did spot up in the fields that way was like a cafe. It certainly looked like a cafe. So our intention is to, if it's still open, is to refuel at that cafe, and then we'll be good for returning to Boscastle. My goodness! Right, possibly what we think is a cafe of some description. There's certainly some like little awnings out there and some tables. Fingers crossed we can get a beverage, because I'm thirsty. Well, we struck gold. It's more than just a cafe. The Boscastle Farm Shop. We're obviously not in the market for food because we've just had a roast dinner, but certainly a drink. Alright, we've got this strawberry smoothie. You've got a pineapple one, haven't you? We have actually got a couple of Cokes because we've got a bit of a thirst on. AJ's got some apple juice. And you've got some water, haven't you?
No, you have orange juice.
Oh yeah, orange juice. Wait a minute, it says Devon on it. Oh, it's quite nice in here. There's a little map up there on the wall. Places to visit. Alright, we needed that. Onward, or at least back to Boscastle. I need to invest in some walking boots. Alright, almost made it. Probably a little bit too arduous for the kids, maybe, in hindsight. You alright, Tilly?
Yeah.
You tired now, aren't you? Tired. And AJ there, let me flip the camera around. You alright, Age? Yeah. You alright, Mama Bear?
Yeah.
AJ, how did you get so dirty? Look at you. You look like a little mine boy.
I'm down.
Yeah, Matilda, I don't think that's, you know, good to do. Look at the state of you, AJ. Come on, let's go. We're almost there. We're back at Boscastle. Well, almost. We're above the on the cliffs above Boscastle harbour, so that's still beautiful. Look at that. We made it back. We did it. What was it? About 3 miles?
Yeah, it was about 1.5 miles out, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1.5 miles there. 1.5 miles back, so yeah, about 3 miles. Like I said, in hindsight, probably a little bit too much for the kids. It was a little bit rugged, but we did it. There's a lot of ducks hiding in there. Well, from beautiful Boscastle and its cliff walk, we're going to leave the video there. I've never been to Boscastle before, and I really enjoyed it. I would definitely come back. It is super duper beautiful. Obviously, the sun's shining and the lovely blue skies really do help that situation. Anyway, do all the usual YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, smash the bell. We are on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at The Brightside, so do check us out there. So from us to you, cheers and gone.